When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're looking at 2024 movies releasing between now and March 19th when winter officially ends. Number 10, Madam Webb, release date February 14th. Of all the superhero cinematic universes, Sony's Spider-Man universe has had the roughest time finding its footing. Will Madam Webb be the one that finally gets it right, or are we looking at the next Morbius? Admittedly, this line has us leaning toward the latter.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Meme fuel aside, there are a few other reasons that Madam Webb is on our radar. Namely, there's Dakota Johnson, who has proven herself to be one of our most charismatic and adventurous actresses, never afraid to take a risk.
I knew he was gonna die. I think I'm seeing the future.
She's not the only promising name at the center of this web, which also features up-and-comer Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, and Isabella Merced. Whether it's another misfire or a bold new direction, we're eager to see what exactly they've spun up.
You're showing off.
Maybe a little.
Number 9, Damsel, release date March 8th. The bad news is that you're gonna have to wait a little longer for the final season of Stranger Things. On the plus side, Millie Bobby Brown's next Netflix project is just around the corner.
Welcome, princess.
When you need a young actress to play a badass heroine, Brown should be at the top of every call sheet. It was only a matter of time until she added warrior princess to her resume. Brown plays Princess Elodie, who enters an arranged marriage without getting all the details.
You join a long line of women who have helped to build this kingdom.
Before Elodie can ask for an annulment, she's being sacrificed to a fearsome dragon. Considering Brown's past roles, the dragon is the one who should be afraid in a film that promises a unique blend of the fantasy and survival genres.
You better run for your life.
Number 8, Lisa Frankenstein, release date February 9th. First, Katherine Newton put a horror movie spin on Freaky Friday. Now, she's giving Frankenstein a comedic twist. It's come full circle. Lisa Frankenstein looks like the kind of suburban horror comedy that Tim Burton would have made earlier in his career.
You're him? I can't believe you're here.
Just as Burton turned Johnny Depp from Teen Idol to Edward Scissorhands, director Zelda Williams molds Cole Sprouse from Riverdale's resident heartthrob to Frankenstein monster. Albeit a hunky Frankenstein monster.
I love it. It's not really my style.
And yes, that's Zelda Williams as in Robin Williams' daughter, making her feature directorial debut, with Jennifer's Body being reevaluated as a modern classic. It's about time screenwriter Diablo Cody revisited horror. The premise might be kooky, but with a lineup like this, we don't see how Lisa Frankenstein can go wrong. It's alive!
I'm not making any more comments. You can talk to my lawyer.
Number 7, Bob Marley, One Love, release date February 14th. Kingsley Ben-Adir may not be a household name yet, although he's already played some of the most influential voices in Black history. He gave an underrated performance as Malcolm X in 2020's One Night in Miami. In this biopic, Ben-Adir portrays another figure who tragically didn't live to see age 40.
Oh, you want to start? From the beginning.
Bob Marley's music lives on in One Love, which chronicles the trailblazing reggae singer's life. Despite not coming from a musical background, Ben-Adir would learn to sing and play guitar in a performance that'll combine his vocals with recordings of the real Marley.
Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom?
We're not even through the current award season, but between Ben-Adir and director Ronaldo Marcus Green of King Richard, One Love already has us looking ahead to next year's Oscars.
One love, one art, one destiny.
Number 6, Imaginary, release date March 8th. Move over, Teddy Ruxpin. There's a new teddy bear bound to haunt our nightmares, although this one is intentionally creepy.
Alice?
With Megan and Five Nights at Freddy's both being two of last year's biggest financial success stories, it only makes sense that Blumhouse would combine elements of the two in Imaginary. The premise also possesses echoes of a Twilight Zone episode, particularly Living Doll and Little Girl Lost.
Maybe we shouldn't play together anymore, Chauncey. Maybe we shouldn't be friends. No.
Chauncey the Bear seemingly has all the makings of a modern horror icon, who will surely leave you on the edge the next time your kid says they're playing with an imaginary friend. Speaking of which, we imagine this will make for a fun double feature when If comes out later in May.
Don't look him in the eye.
Which one?
You know damn well which one.
Number 5. Spaceman. Release date March 1st. When's Adam Sandler gonna get his Oscar nomination? That might have sounded like an odd question if we had asked it a decade ago. With Uncut Gems and Hustle, though, Sandler has been turning in one gripping performance after another as of late. This sci-fi drama from Chernobyl director Johan Renck may bring Sandler's most intriguing dramatic performance yet. The setup calls to mind Moon starring Sam Rockwell and Enemy starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
I did not intend to frighten you, skinny human. Do not be afraid.
Sandler plays an isolated astronaut who finds companionship in an extraterrestrial spider, voiced by Paul Dano. It's surreal to say the least, but this Netflix film has the potential to deliver a poignant and fascinating experience.
I just want to come home.
By the way, did the marketing campaign for Funny People predict this movie? Number 4. Argyle. Release date March 1st. Henry Cavill was this close to playing James Bond, but the producers went with Daniel Craig. Almost 20 years later, Cavill steps into another Bond-esque role as Agent Argyle.
I certainly hope you dance as well as you dress.
There's only one way to find out.
Director Matthew Vaughn previously delivered a fresh spin on the spy genre in the Kingsman movies. Argyle takes an even more meta approach, with Bryce Dallas Howard playing a novelist whose work imitates life. Or is this a case of life imitating fiction?
Come on.
That's one of the hooks in a thriller reminiscent of North by Northwest and Charade, with a dash of Romancing the Stone. In addition to Howard and Cavill, we likely won't find a more stacked cast this season, with Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, and Samuel L. Jackson being some of the other names.
It's time for you to meet the real Agent Argyle.
Number 3. Driveaway Dolls. Release date February 23rd. We might have spoken too soon, because Driveaway Dolls also has an assembly of A-listers, from Matt Damon to Pedro Pascal to Coleman Domingo. This road comedy is primarily a showcase for two rising stars, Margaret Qualley and Geraldine Viswanathan.
I've been unhappy.
That's why we take this trip together, honey babe. We get our act together.
The plot draws parallels to Thelma and Louise, although Jamie and Marion are initially oblivious to the trouble they're in. The two inadvertently get wrapped up with bumbling criminals in a farce that can only be described as Coen-esque.
What? We should see what's in here.
Driveaway Dolls marks Ethan Coen's first narrative feature without his brother Joel. Co-writing the script with his wife and longtime editor Trisha Cook, Ethan Coen seems to be revisiting what he does best with a mix of comedy, crime, and classic misunderstandings that get out of control.
Wow, you've had a full day.
Number 2. Kung Fu Panda 4. Release date March 8th. It's been 16 years since Po became the Dragon Warrior. We're sure that makes you feel old, but imagine how Po must feel. With Po starting another chapter as the spiritual leader, he must find his successor while taking on several villains, new and old.
Keep your surf off my turf!
Viola Davis sounds deliciously evil as the chameleon, who enlists a few foes from Poe's past. DreamWorks has a solid track record with legacy sequels, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish being among the most pleasant surprises of recent memory. Here's hoping that Kung Fu Panda 4 follows the same example, revisiting the series' roots while looking ahead.
We're not so different, you and I.
Skadoosh.
DreamWorks is branching out from sequels as well, with Orion and the Dark hitting Netflix in February.
He makes me feel safe, like I'm wrapped in a warm blanket. You know, if you're into that kind of thing.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dune Part 2. Release date March 1st. It's our most anticipated movie of 2024. That was originally supposed to come out in 2023.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
We have every reason to believe that Dune Part 2 will be worth the wait. Why? Because director Denis Villeneuve delivered an instant cinematic classic with his 2021 epic, and that was only the beginning. Anyone who's read Frank Herbert's dense novel knows that the real meat of Paul Atreides' story is in the second half.
I will do what must be done.
Villeneuve's adaptation hasn't even gotten to characters like Fade Ralpha Harkonnen, played by Austin Butler, and Princess Irulan, played by Florence Pugh. Only time will tell if Villeneuve returns for Dune Messiah, but one thing is for certain. We are seeing this second chapter on the biggest screen possible. What's on your watch list for this winter? Let us know in the comments.
Consider what you're about to do, Paul Atreides.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.